Do you know what it's asking you to do? Juan, any ideas what it's asking you to do? What? No. All right, that's what we got to figure out. Mason, any ideas what it's asking us to do? All right, first what you got to do is solve this for x. You're used to solving an equation for x. If you had x plus 5 equals 15, and it said to solve it for x, Ellie, what would you do? You had x plus 5 equals 15. What would you do?
Do 15 divided by 5, which would be x.
So what's going on 35 with x?
Not divide by, because like you said,
Oh.
if it's a plus, you're going to make it a
Uh,
minus. So we're going to make it minus 5. So you're going to do that. Now you get x equals, what's 15 minus 5? That's what? 10. Now here's the case we're dealing with. We're not going to be able to come up with a number answer. You're not going to get 10. Our goal is to get x by itself on that side of the equation. So because it told me what it wants to solve for. So here's my x. I'm going to draw my little fence down here so I can figure out, is it by itself? Do I have x equals? No. If I had x plus 5, you told me what to do. I bet you everyone in this room knows to subtract 5, right? It doesn't say x plus 5, though. It says x plus what? Y. What do I do to the y? Right?
Subtract it.
You're going to subtract it. Even though it's not a number, we can move anything. So we're going to subtract it. So you're just going to put down minus y, and I'm going to put a minus y right here. What does that leave me on the left-hand side? Just an x, right? Equals, all right, now this is where you got to be careful. You're only allowed to combine like terms. You're only allowed to combine numbers with numbers, and then like terms with like terms with like terms. Like it has to have an x. 15 and y. I can't combine it. Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say write it like you read it. Okay, Maddie, what is it? Read that to me.
15 minus 1.
15 minus y. So I'm going to put down 15 minus y. I can't combine them. That's your answer. What does x equal? X equals, I'm just going to take an extra step here. 15 minus y. I'm done.
What if the y was before the x? Would it be 15 minus x?
No, if the y was before the x, you mean like this? Y plus x equals 15? Is that what you mean? Okay, good question. It all depends on what they tell you to solve for.
Oh.
If they tell me to solve for x, I still have to move that y. And so I'm going to subtract y either way, and I'm still going to get x equals 15 minus y for that. All right, so now we're doing just a little bit different here. We're doing some little bit different things. Whoops, I don't want to go that far. Man, a little jumpy here today. Okay, so, all right, PQ equals X. And it might help you just to write it underneath there so like all the wordings doesn't get in the way. And solve PQ equals X for Q. So it's telling me what I need to solve for. And so I'm just going to highlight the variable I'm solving for, Q.
You guys can box it in.
Box it in, yep, underline it, whatever it needs. So now you got to say, all right, how do I get that Q by itself? It's not P plus Q. What's going on with that P and that Q, Lindsay? What operation, even though it's not, well, we should know. What's going on between these two? Are they being added? Nope. Are they being subtracted?
No.
What's going on?
Is it division?
For division, it would either have to be P over Q, okay, or they would have to have a division symbol in there. Like you would have to tell you that. If there's no symbol between there, okay, this is being multiplied. Okay, so right here, this P and Q is being multiplied. All right, Ava, what's the inverse of multiplication?
Division.
Division. What do I divide by, Ava?
Divide by P.
By what? P. Because I want to get this Q by itself, so I divide by P. So all this is to show division. Do the little fraction bar, divide by P. So I get Q equals. Now, write it like you read it, x over p or x divided by p. Now in our final answers, we don't use a division symbol, write it as a fraction. Okay. So q equals x over p. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Done. Okay. It asks us to solve for q. That means get it by itself. That's all it means. I'm not going to be able in this case to get q equals 10 or q equals 15. I can't do that. I can get q equals x over p. Got to be able to rearrange. All right, 6 minus 4b equals 2t. That's your next one. All right, now make sure you're filling it. It says for what? Make sure that you put in the variable that solve for t. Get t by itself. I'm just going to rewrite it underneath it. 6 minus 4b equals 2t. All right. T is what I'm solving for. That's the only t in the whole place, right? All right. But it's on the right-hand side. What do you think I do? What do you think I just got? We don't need to do that here because I want you to think about this. The t is on the right-hand side, right? I just need to get this one by itself. Don't bring anything else over with the t. Okay? So what's the only thing I need to move? Get rid of. What's the only thing with the t? Just the 2. And so what's going on with the 2 and the t? Are they being added? No. What's going on? We multiply. So what's the inverse of that? We're going to divide. Now, we got 2 things over here. You have to divide everything by 2. By this 2. So if I divide this by 2, I got to divide this piece by 2 and this piece by 2. Now, is 6 divisible by 2? They're both numbers, right? Yeah, what do they equal? 3. So that equals 3. This has a b in it. Anybody tell me what 4b over 2 is going to end up equaling?
Negative 2b.
Negative 2b. Good. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And then that b has to stay. It doesn't go away. Equals. Mason, what's it going to equal? What's left over there on that right-hand side?
Just t.
Just t. Just t. Now, normally, we always like to write, like if I get a variable by itself, we like to write that variable first. So I'm just going to rewrite my final answer as t equals 3 minus 2b. I'm also going to give you one other thing. Sometimes I usually like to write my variable first. At this point, this is correct, but we're going to want to eventually move forward. How could I rewrite this? How could I reorder those and put the b first? Juan?
Negative 2b plus 3.
Good. This negative goes with that 2b wherever it goes.
Good job, man.
Now, here's the key. The reason I say that is sometimes, like when I hand you a sheet, like with all the answers on it, and if you have t minus 3b as your answer, and I have t equals negative 2b plus 3, you're like, oh, I'm wrong. You're not really wrong. You just didn't write it the same way I wrote it. So it's not like you have to go change everything. So understand, those two are equivalent. Okay. Normally, we like to write it like this. To be honest, if you could write it like that, that would be great.
Super.
Super. Oh, man.
Oh, this is easy.
All right. All right. Tag in.
Tag.
Tag. All right, you got it.
Okay, guys, we're going to solve this for b, right? So, let's box in what we're solving for. That means I need to get the b isolated, right? What's going on between a, b, c? What's going on?
Getting multiplied.
Does everybody see everything's being multiplied together? So, guys, how do I get b by itself? I need to divide by what? And you can do it at the same time. Juan? Well, no, I don't want to divide by b. Just AC. We want to cool it off with AC. No, that was bad. That was like a D-laugh joke. I want to divide that by AC. Look what happens over here, guys. A's cancel, C's cancel. Now, I'm left with my B. What did I divide by over here? AC. So I'm going to divide by AC right here. Okay? Now, since I don't know any numbers, guys, that's all I can do. B equals Y divided by AC. And I want to put this like that. And there's my answer. That's all we have to do. I think it just kind of freaks you out because we're just solving for a variable. And I think sometimes you think, Oh, I'm not done. I'm not finished. Yeah, that's all you can do. There's no numbers in this one. B equals Y over AC. What'd you guys think about that one?
Easy.
Not bad, right? Son of a nutcracker. Solve for what?
What?
2x plus 7y equals 14. That's what I want to solve for. Guys, would it do any good to subtract 7x? Or excuse me, 7y, put it over here? No. What do I need to get rid of first? 2x. How do I get rid of a 2x? Go ahead, Mace.
Divided by 2.
Careful. Then you're separating the 2 and the x. I don't want to do that. I want to keep them together and take the whole thing over there. What kind of 2x is it? Positive or negative?
Positive.
So what do I do?
Subtract.
I want to subtract 2x from both sides. Yep. This cancels. Bring down my 7y. Now, here's where you got to be careful, guys. Watch, watch, watch. Can you subtract 2x from 14? No, they're not like terms. So don't do that. Don't write 12x. Mr. Delap and I will get more gray hair. Okay? And I think it's a good idea to put the x term first, just to get in the habit of do that. So we're going to start talking about lines here pretty quick. Okay? So that 2x is negative, 14 is positive. Boom. Now, how do I finish this off? What do you think? Go ahead. Yeah.
You divide both sides by 7.
Okay, now, how many terms are over here? 2, right? Divide everything by 7. Cancels. Y equals. That looks good. That's what I want. Now, guys, I would just leave it like this. I would just leave it like that.
Does 7 go into 2? No.
Don't get a crazy decimal. Just leave it like that. Now, 14 divided by 7, that turns out nice and neat, right? What is that? 2? That looks like an equation of a line, Mr. D-Lab.
Certainly does.
You guys are going to get sick of those. Is it possible to get sick of lines, though? Is it possible?
Yeah.
All right. So what we got? So 3x plus 18y equals negative 12. We're going to solve for x. Solve for x.
So yeah, they flipped that one on you. The last one's for Y, and this one's for X. So you got to be careful. You got to really read the directions. You read those directions, or else you're gonna take off on the wrong path.
Lindsay, what are you thinking?
Subtract 3x.
Careful. We're trying to get x by itself. If I take it, I'm going to put the 3x with another term. I want to take this y term over away from it, right? So how do I take a positive 18y over to the other side?
Negative 18y.
I want to subtract 18y from both sides. Cancel. 3x. Now, are they like terms? Don't put them together. Keep them separate. Let's write the y term first. Okay? Now what do we have to do? Yes, ma'am.
18 by 3. Because you want to get that by
Okay, we have to divide by 3, but how many terms do I have over there?
2. So you do it to the 18 by 12.
Yes. Guys, everything gets divided by 3. Don't forget to do that. Write it just like that. Cancel. What's my first term going to simplify to? Go ahead, Mason.
6.
Careful.
Negative 6.
Don't lose my negative sign. And then what about next one, Mason?
4. Negative 4.
That's simplified nicely. What do you guys think? Not too bad? Is there any more?
One more. One more on that.
Okay, the formula for an object's final velocity is F equals I minus GT. Okay, does it matter what the stuff stands for? No, I don't really care. I'm not a science teacher, but it says solve for what? Okay, so let's rewrite it. This one is so easy. What are we solving here, guys? Solving for what, Jeff? Solving for you? Forget it. That was bad. Jeff, I'll explain that later. All right. What is attached to the eye? The lashes. Guys, what's attached to the eye?
GT.
How?
It's on the same size. Yeah.
It's subtraction. Do you guys see that? Subtraction. How do you get rid of subtraction? Add both of them at the same time. This cancels. I get my I by itself. Guys, can I add these two things? So just write them. F plus GT equals I. How do we want to switch that? I equals F plus GT. There's my final answer. Guys, try these. Try these. Look at the examples we did. Try these tonight. If you make a mistake, that's okay. It's okay. Where'd you want to go?
Good thing about having people last 3 years, I think good. I was listening. Well, this is not.
Good to see you.
First, 8th period, but.
Hey, I ran out of the here. Did I do you good? Okay, the 10 problems on that. For all the further missing variables.
Mr. D?
Also, you got any? Yeah, we'll see. Thank you. You got any free period questions?
Your period's my first period,
Yeah, try to get through that.
first period, and Wednesdays at 19:30. Yesterday.
Right. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll get the list of these things. I'll see what I got here. We'll get
And tomorrow's second.
right.
I'll do that.
So we'll get you get you a list of things and we'll try and get a timeline. Okay.
Do we have to start next Wednesday?
Yes. Yes,
Do you have an extra blank copy of the guided notes for this year?
I do. Let's see. Let me stop this though.